welcome to Brand X Reviews. Now, obviously on this channel we talk about action stars, and we've in the past done retrospectives talking about actors and so on, like Stallone and Bruce Willis and guys that were big heroes when some of us were kids, and Arnold Schwarzenegger obviously is one of the big ones. Now, it's kind of sad with Schwarzenegger because he's had a pretty... well, controversial isn't even the right word, really. A bit of a dodgy outlook on things, and he's been quite vocal about it as well, and got himself into a few situations where his fan base have pretty much rejected him, myself included. Obviously, we know he's quite political. I don't agree with his politics and so on, but at the same time, people have got a right to do that. We can agree to disagree, that's fine, and we can have civil discourse about it. And obviously the point of this video is the Charlie Kirk assassination and his comments on that recently, which I'm going to get to. But just for context, why I'm saying this is quite positive, it does seem like despite everything, and when I say everything, despite things like during COVID, with everything that was going on and the restrictions and everything, he was in favour of that massively, and he at one point even said to the people that were against the restrictions, screw your freedoms.
It is to get vaccinated, to wear masks, to do social distancing, washing your hands all the time, and not just to think about, well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No, screw your freedom.
So a lot of people took exception to that and basically wrote him off as somebody that they had give a shit about at all, myself included, which is sad because obviously you separate the art from the artist as much as you can. I still love his films, they are what they are, but it's really good when you've got somebody like him that's your hero, like Stallone is to me, who's also a good guy in real life. So you can really appreciate their work. It just kind of gives it a little bit extra something when you go back and watch those films, knowing that guy in that film is actually a good guy in real life as well. It's difficult when it's the other way around. So we don't really expect much from Schwarzenegger, but this past 6 months he does seem to have come round a bit, and there's been a couple of moments where good on you, basically. Now, did he go as far as we would have liked him to have gone? Maybe not, but it's a start anyway. It does seem to be a step in the right direction. I don't know what it is about him, what happened. My own theory, and again, this is just me basically observing casually, so I don't know, but I think something happened to him trauma-wise, physically and emotionally. I know, very sad, one of his friends, Franco Columbu, passed away. I think he had a heart attack and drowned, very sad. Quite a few years ago, maybe 7-8 years ago, something like that. And that would have really hit him hard. And then also he had a heart operation. I think he had one in 97 from memory, and then he had to have it redone again around about 2018, 19-ish, something like that. Around the time his friend died of a heart attack. So I think it scared him. I think it's physically taken a lot out of him, the surgery. I know when he had it, he wasn't in great condition in the immediate aftermath. I remember being a bit worried about him, despite everything. And yeah, basically, I think something changed about him. There was something after that. You could just tell there was something a bit weird about him. I mean, I know it's Hollywood, Holly weird, all that stuff. So it's probably in keeping with that. But everything else with him saying "screw your freedom" to people during the whole COVID era. He seems to have maybe had a change of trajectory recently, I'm hoping, just given some of the couple of bits of evidence. So there was the footage from The View where he was talking about immigration. This was a few months ago. And in fact, I'll just play the clip. It's not too long of a clip, and I want to keep this video short, but I'll play that and then we'll come back. So this was Arnold Schwarzenegger on The View, surrounded by really hateful, far-left, nasty witches. Not to name names, but just calling a spade a spade. Here's a clip.
If you are an immigrant, you're an immigrant in this country. Yeah. Did you have a visceral reaction to what they're doing, what ICE is doing, when you see the videos of it?
Well, I tell you, you said that the immigrant, I'm so proud and happy that I was embraced by the American people like that. I mean, imagine I came over here with the age of 21, with absolutely nothing. And then to create a career like that. I mean, in no other country in the world could you do that. Every single thing, if it's my bodybuilding career, if it's my acting career, becoming governor, the beautiful family that I've created, all of this is because of America.
That's true.
And so this is why I'm so happy to see firsthand that this is the greatest country in the world, and this is the land of opportunity. And I think because I'm such a proud American and a proud immigrant that came to America, I was asked to do, on July 4th, a big speech, the keynote speech at Mount Vernon, where George Washington was laid to rest, and where he lived and all that, to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, the existence of America. And I will be doing the speech there. They asked me because I'm an immigrant, and there will be 7,000 some people there, and there will be people that will be sworn in and will become citizens that day.
That's great.
So it's really a great celebration. And this is what this is all about, is to celebrate people becoming Americans and coming to America and all that. And so I just think the world of the great kind of a history that we have with immigrants in America. But the key thing also is at the same time that we got to do things legal. That is the important thing, you know. So you got to do things legal, and those people that are doing illegal things in America and that are foreigners, they are not smart. Because when you come to America, you're a guest, and you have to behave like a guest. Like when I go to someone's house and I'm a guest, then I will do everything I can to keep things clean and to make my bed and to do everything that is the right thing to do, rather than committing a crime or being abusive or something like that. So that doesn't really work in this country. So I think the important thing is when you become an immigrant, to think about, okay, I go to America because I want to use America for the great opportunities that America has in education, in jobs, creating a family, all of those kind of things. Then you have to think about, okay, if I get all of those things from America, then I have to give something back. But you have a responsibility as an immigrant to give back to America and to pay back to America and to go and do something for your community for no money whatsoever. Give something back to after-school programs, Special Olympics, or whatever it is. Make this country a better place.
Arnold, don't forget.
So yeah, that was a pretty good moment, and quite a surprise as well. And a lot of people that I know were like really chuffed about that as well, because we want to see him do good, and we haven't really seen that. So when we saw that, it was like, well, good on you. I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer what he was saying, to be fair, but given that it was him that was saying it, that it was nice to see. But what's really heartwarming is, and again, he could have gone way further, but whatever, he was talking about Charlie Kirk.
I was very, very upset that someone's life was taken because they have a different opinion. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, this was a great communicator, a great advocate for the right, for Republican causes. And he had such a great way of communicating with the students that agreed or disagreed with him. And I just thought about, it's a human being. A human life is gone. And he was a great father, a great husband. And I was thinking about his children. They will only be reading about him now, instead of him reading to them bedtime stories. I mean, it's just unbelievable of what is going on. So I was shocked when I saw this, as we all were.
And again, there's some kind of disclaimer that sometimes people say. You can tell they want to say, I'm glad he's dead. But what they'll just basically say is, oh, it's sad when a person loses their life, and the children and all that that they had, whatever, kind of thing. And it just comes across as very insincere disingenuous, and a lot of the time it's done to kind of mask what they're actually thinking and wanting to say, and that is, I'm glad he's dead. But trying to maybe virtue signal a little bit. He went a little bit further than that. He's basically credited him for being a good guy, which is a bit tricky when you've got armies of far leftists that are celebrating the political assassination and advocating for more of it.
I want to dedicate this next one to an absolute piece of shit of a human being. The pronouns was, were. Cause if you chat shit, you will get banged. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, you piece of shit.
And this isn't a small circle of people. This guy that did the shooting, as I've been saying, he isn't a lone nut shooter. Even if it does kind of come out that he did do it off his own accord, I'm pretty sure the evidence is pointing at looking at there were quite a few people literally involved before the fact. But well, that's a different video for a different day. Point is, there's a network of people. We sit next to these people. I sit next to these people on the bus or whatever every day, that are absolutely looking forward to the next Charlie Kirk assassination. So given that we're in that kind of environment, Arnie's comments here are kind of putting him in the firing, not literally, but putting him in the firing line of the hate mob. So again, he could have gone a lot further, but well, it's a start basically, and it's a step in the right direction. And to say we have quite low expectations for him, I think this was definitely a positive, and hopefully we see more of this from him, because we're going to start losing these actors in the next sort of 10-15 years if we're lucky, that long, given the age of some of them. I think Stallone turns 80 next year. Arnie turns 80 in 2 years. So, I mean, they could live to 100, but, you know, we are going to start seeing them drop off, and it would be nice if they went out on a good note, and our last memories of them while they were alive aren't, what a douchebag. So, yeah, more of this, please. Thank you very much. If you want to check the channel, well, we've got some videos on the Charlie Kirk thing that we did last week. I don't know if we're going to do many more. Obviously, we talk about action movies and action stars on this channel quite a bit, so I thought this was kind of relevant to that, whilst also continuing what we were doing last week, going a bit off topic. You can follow us on X. There's usually a few posts on there about this kind of stuff, so if this interests you, you can look up at BrandX Reviews on there. There's the website brandxreviews.com or thegramophonemmind.com, same website. And yeah, I will just leave there and say thank you very much for watching.